Hello all, Game Methuselah here. Now, I was looking for one of my straw cowboy hats here, so I kind of resemble Woody from Toy Story, but I couldn't find it, so I thought I would just come up here and talk about this quick video I wanted to do. Now, in all campaigns you're running for role-playing games, there comes a point, no matter how good the game is, wonderful you're doing or think you're doing, and you're running your game, something seems to fall flat. And often that happens sort of kind of what I always call like the middle level of the game. Characters have been playing like 6 months. They've accumulated some great stuff. They're into the story. They're into all the concept. They face some really good bad guys. They're really feeling kind of good about themselves. But real life sometimes jumps into the way. You know, you might be tired, you may not put out the best content you'd like to do. Some people are like suddenly, we've been doing this 6 months, maybe I need a break, maybe my wife wants me to take her on a vacation. And sometimes you sit there and you think, no one's really that excited to be playing the game. And it happens, I guarantee it. Often when you are, watching streaming games and things like that, you can kind of sometimes see this, where it's an off night. But of course, when they're producing product as sort of a business, they don't have an opportunity to just sort of take a break. But you, especially when you're running your own campaign, whether it's out of modules or whether it's your own content, you can take a break. Now, I do this all the time with my group. We've been gaming for multiple decades, so it's important to take a step back and get a breath. Often an exchange of game masters is wonderful to do that. But even in our group now, sometimes when you've even had the other game masters running for long periods of time, you need something else. Now, being that we are pretty much inclusive in all games, we play board games and miniature games and collectible card games, computer games, you name it. If it says game in it, we're likely playing it. And often that will reset the gaming, and people will become excited again. Another great thing I like to do is sometimes we just play a small, different type of campaign and go into sci-fi, like Traveler or something, or we'll go into like Vampire the Eternal Struggle or Shadowrun or Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu is a really good one. The great reason is because you can run Call of Cthulhu in about 4 sessions, and when everybody ends up in the asylum, but they win, well, the game is over and they're all in the nut house, but maybe the great Cthulhu has been postponed on his takeover of the world for a few months. It's all kind of dangerous, though, when you do that, because sometimes what happens is people get really kind of interested in the new game you're running, and they sort of lose interest in maybe what you were doing, and you don't want that. So I always think the easiest, simplest, and in many ways, best way is start new characters in your campaign. Everyone's kind of like tired out here. Maybe we just need a break. Let's generate some new characters, and whoever shows up, 3, 4, 5 people, it doesn't matter. You've got this new first level adventure. You can make a second or third. You can give them some special stuff because while they're experienced, maybe you have some special mission you've always wanted to run. It's all up to you, or in case of module use, it's all up to the modules. But it tends to really get the juices flowing in players again, especially ones who are really pretty new in the game. They've only run one character, maybe 2, and now they've been running one for a long period of time, and they're getting kind of, it's the old shoe. I mean, as much as you really like the character and it's really an excellent character, I kind of need a break. And that helps. New dynamics of new characters with new adventures and everything else can be really fun and can sort of re-energize it. And, if only a handful of people show up and you're not going to get a large group or a large party, you can do that. And then those players tend to be excited. They get something new to do, and you can run that even substantially more dangerously. And players now don't have as much invested in these characters, so, if they get beheaded by some horrible monster, it's not necessarily going to cause the trauma that it might if it was your main campaign. Now, I've murdered characters in all kinds of campaigns, and I can tell you that's true. Nothing really gets it going when you got a guy who's really involved in his character. The game sort of droops a little. Maybe he kind of gets a little complacent. Oops, something bad happens, and now we're looking for a resurrect. So this kind of works. It's just how to keep the game flowing. And, or if nothing else as a DM, how to sort of recharge yourself with something interesting, something you might have wanted to run and you haven't had a chance. And players will often be very receptive to this. So if they're not interested in board games, or they're not interested in miniature games, or whatever else you might be really into, this is a simple way to kind of get things going and get people recharged to game. Sometimes you don't understand necessarily when things sort of seem flat, what it might be. And this is often it. So really sometimes just a change of scenery and how you fit the new stuff in there will make it more exciting to players, and then they'll get rejuvenated, and so will you. And they'll come back and be more interested in playing the campaign. And now also the magical thing it does for you is it gives you a second set of string of characters for players. So if they lose their main character, well, I've got this other guy in the background. So something to think about when you're running your games. I don't want this to run long. So I'm going to be back soon with another new video for you. So until we have a chance to speak again, fight me devils, fight, for I hate peace, and game on.